Welcome to the full moon in Scorpio reading. I'm Cassaspell and this is BB, who does not care about recording today, but that's fine. We've got 3 cards for this moon. The hyena card, old favorite, the disease card, stress and negativity, not the most fun, and the chariot card, and this is nasturtium in this deck. Check out this gold leaf. I love it. So these 3 cards in conjunction with the Scorpio full moon. So we're thinking full moon, we're thinking lighting up the subconscious, we're thinking shining light on all of the darkness, all of the things that maybe we haven't been looking at. What are we ready to release as we're moving energy, as the moon moves our energy? Emotional depths. Scorpio. So Scorpio is really about these emotional depths. Scorpio is an investigator. Scorpio is a emotional communicator, potentially drawn to the drama only because of their extreme, beautiful ability to understand the depth and the drama and the sadness or the darkness, the womb space, the depths of the ocean. All of these archetypal things are things that I think of when I think of Scorpio. And just being able to investigate the darkness while this light is shining on us. We are allowed, nay, we should take the opportunity to investigate our own depths and our own darkness in order to have some kind of hope in reality. Hopefully, I want to start with this card because it, disease, it's rough. Like the card, it has this black on it, but it has the yellows, maybe a little green up there, some orange, red type of stuff. So it's giving me multiple areas of the functional human system, our energetic centers, also our neurological centers, because we have different brains in our body. And I think that they are run by these so-called chakras, these aspects of ourself, these different glands in our body, which we can talk about some other time. But disease is this moment where we have to look at ourselves when we are in any kind of non-ease. We're not in the ease part of our life. We have an opportunity to dive into ourselves, to get to know what it is that is causing us whatever. And I know that we have so many opportunities. There's so many things that we can point to outside of ourselves that can contribute to our stress, our anxiety, our negativity, or we just witness negativity constantly because that is what sells. And we can adopt these feelings inside of ourselves that cause diseases or pain or other chronic issues that are so prevalent right now, mentally and physically and emotionally, all of these things. And so we have an opportunity to really look inside of ourselves and to go into the soil, to plant ourselves, to be inside of the womb of our own subconscious and really navigate that. Scorpio is proficient at navigating that. And so if we have the ability to navigate our emotional depths and our subconscious, it is not a bad thing. It is a good thing to do. It is necessary to do so that we could potentially find healing, because the way to find the healing is by understanding and fully allowing ourselves to feel what it is that's going on inside of ourselves. Like if that is pain, we have to be able to be okay with our pain in order to move forward in a way that is going to hopefully be healing, hopefully give us hope so that we have some incentive to move forward in this world. Because I know there's a lot of hopeless people, myself included, more often than not, unfortunately. And so when I think of disease, I think of like the chronic pain in my lower back or my neck from my car accident or my knees or, all of these things that I deal with. But I know that maybe if I could just allow it to be and be okay with it and understand like what are the emotional roots of that, potentially someday I could be able to convince myself to do the work that is necessary to allow me to heal. Because I know that there have been times in my life where I didn't feel pain, where I didn't feel disease in my body. And if that is true, we can come back to that. We are incredible healing creatures, and we also have so much access to so much more these days, especially the knowledge of how plants can really be helpful for us in so many different ways. And that being said, nasturtium. So we've got the chariot card, we've got nasturtium, an amazing plant. Every aspect of this plant is edible. It's all good for you. It's beautiful. It does this beautiful ground cover thing when it grows, and it has these big round green leaves, and then all of the flowers are red and yellow and orange, just giving you a lot of joy, movement, giving you vibes of creativity and how you can pull that creativity out of yourself. The actual flower essence for this can be used for neuroses or fatigue, like just bringing joy and vibrancy back into your life. And also the dried, the dried leaves and the flowers can be used as a tea that is good for the respiratory system. And I love to sprinkle the flower petals on a salad. It gives a little peppery taste, and they're really beautiful, and they like brighten up the plate. So this beautiful flower is giving us all of these vibes. And also the chariot, the archetype of the chariot is the beginning of the hero's journey. I mean, the beginning is technically the Fool card, but when we're finally ready to move beyond our own walls and to go on the journey of discovering ourselves and how can we bring our best self and our most purposeful self back to our community, which is everything, everybody, the earth, the plants, the animals, all of it. How can we bring our best self to the table? We have to go on that journey. We have to get to the point of understanding ourselves so deeply that we don't take anything for granted, that we are grateful for every moment, for everything that we have, for all of, and finding joy and finding like some levity in a disease-ridden, negative world. There are things to be joyous about, and we can focus on them, and we can bring this vibrancy into our life, but we have to be willing to understand our depths, to understand what is causing the things that are going on in our body, because there are emotional roots to everything there. And I'm not saying that it's all going to heal, but there is a point in our lives where we can be okay with whatever is going on. That is what we are trying to cultivate, is just this simple okay. Like I can't heal anybody's cancer. Maybe they can't heal their own cancer. Maybe they can. Like there's a spectrum of realities, and we have an opportunity to understand our reality and live it fully and wholly and believe in ourselves and still have hope for the future. But that takes work. That takes a lot of excavation. And so I hope that we are doing that in this full moon to the best of our capabilities. And then this last card, the hyena card, nocturnal creature. So we're in the depths of the darks of the subconscious, symbolically speaking. So we're understanding our subconscious realm. We're moving through the darkness without fear, with our crew, with whatever keeps us safe and together. And funny enough that these creatures are pack animals, but also they can be self-centered in their own ways and like self-serving in their own ways. So it is a necessity to balance the both of those things. Like, how are we balancing our connectivity with ourselves? How are we scavenging and understanding that we are a part of the cycle of like how are the, capitalism, the United States government, in my like it's all crumbling because all of these systems don't actually do us any good. And if that is the case, we still have to exist. We still have to do the things that we are doing together and showing up for ourselves, showing up for our community in whatever way we possibly can. And so we want to harness this energy of kind of like levity and movement through the darkness, because something tells me, and actually lots of things have told me, that it's these 5 to 7 years that are going to be really, really pivotal for what we are doing collectively. And I do have hope, and I do believe that we can make it through this in some kind of a positive way. And also, the only way that we're going to do that is by understanding our emotional subconscious depths, laughing, enjoying life in one way or another, understanding who we can trust, understanding that we must trust ourselves, merging the masculine and feminine, because the hyenas, they're managing like both masculine and feminine in their bodies, and they are matriarchal, so they're running from that standpoint, which is not the same as patriarchal, but I don't feel like I need to tell anybody this. It's just understanding that it's moving from a different perspective, from a perspective that's more holistic, that's more, how are we all coming together to handle these situations, and how are we finding joy, and how are we taking what, like, scavenging from the death of these systems, and how are we finding, like, it's the age of Aquarius, so how are we finding ways to utilize the knowledge that is available and also expand upon it and also revolutionize things, because we are the people that are going to be revolutionizing these things. The baby boomers are going to die eventually, and then it's going to be, how are we connecting? How are we connecting with each other, with our elders, with our youth, with each other in these times? Because our connectivity, our hope, our joy is going to be what helps us through any diseases. And with that, take good care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Whatever it is that you're going through is valid. And there's also a way for you to process it and to be okay with it in one way or another. And we have an opportunity to see what the world would be like if we could all just find some way to cultivate being okay, like having less reactivity to the world and more acceptance and understanding and ability to just mitigate our own reactions. Like, understand what your reactions are and how you can breathe through them, how you can allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's going on with you, and understand that you're going to be okay. You're going to live. And, or, even if you're not, like, how are you going to be okay with that? That's that Scorpio energy. It wants us to understand these depths. It wants us to go into our emotional realm and get somewhere where nobody else can touch us and nobody else can shake us. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, so I'll catch y'all next moon.